You're listening to the Veterinary Innovation Podcast.
You're listening to the Veterinary Innovation Podcast. My name is Sean Wilkie, and along with my awesome co-host, we interview the innovators in this space every week. Ivan, please kick us off.
Hey, I'm Ivan Zach, and I'm excited to introduce a colleague of mine, Dr. Asaf Dagan. He is a chief veterinary scientist and co-founder of PetPace. He's a diplomat of American Board of Veterinary Practitioners specializing in canine and feline medicine and is certified in veterinary acupuncture. He also has advanced training in diagnostic ultrasound, laser surgery, and orthopedics. Dr. Dagan graduated with honors from Tufts University School of Veterinary Medicine and has practiced small animal veterinary medicine, including emergency trauma cases in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Israel. Welcome to the show, Dr. Dagan.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, PetPace, this is not a new company. And what is happening? I think we had a PetPace interview on this channel before, but you're newer, or at least newer than I know in the company. Can you tell us what PetPace is about? What do you guys do, and what's exciting on the roadmap?
So, a little bit of background. PetPace is a smart collar for pets, for dogs and cats, and it's completely non-invasive. You put it on your pet for long-term use, but it is a special collar. It has sensors on the inner part of it that continuously collect the most comprehensive range of physiological and behavioral metrics, which we then use through AI and other advanced analytics to conclude if your pet has a medical problem or any other issue they're dealing with. So you're right, it's not a new company. We're actually been around since 2012. But what's new recently is that we launched the third generation collar, which has exciting new features, and I'm happy to go into it if you would like.
Please do, yeah. So there's, and maybe from an angle, there's a lot of wearables. I think starting from, the whistle, yeah, that was a big one in our industry. And then there was a big wave. I think you guys came out at the same time. There was like a number of these products that came out, and it kind of died out. And I think that there's a lot of them that are strict B2C. So that's why I probably don't see them, because I'm seeing more things in the veterinary world. Tell us about the features and how they're connecting veterinarians, because I assume that information is then also shared with the vets. And what is unique about the PetPace?
So you're right, there are a lot of wearables out there, but what's common to almost all of them is the fact that they're relatively simple. They include an activity sensor, which measures movement and activity of your pet, and maybe also have a GPS collar to help you find them if they go missing. PetPace is unique because it measures a lot of things that nobody else does, like temperature and pulse and respiration, HRV, heart rate variability, which is an indicator for stress and pain. So these are unique. And what's more unique is the fact that we read those things almost twice per second. So you get thousands of data points every day. So the depth and the breadth of data is unlike anything else out there. We also have three versions actually for the product. One is for the pet owners, like you just mentioned, but we also have a veterinary version and a research version, which is designed, it's still the same collar, but it is designed, the software and the app that comes with it is designed with the needs of these people in mind.
It's really fascinating. And I've actually been asked to speak on wearables and connected pets for Purina in Switzerland. I'm going to be giving a presentation soon. So I've been digging into this topic quite a bit. And I find it fascinating because in the human world, it sounds like you guys might be the Whoop of pet care. But in the human world, we're all over this. Like, we're connected. Everybody's got a wearable or thinking about getting one. And we're looking at it for our own kind of feedback method to take a look at what's going on in our bodies. The interesting parallel for pets is, they can't read, they can't look at the data, or they could look at it, but they wouldn't maybe interpret it. So they almost need a human interface. And it's interesting what you guys are doing, where you've got a consumer product, a research product, and then a veterinary product. But I'm curious, what is the uptick like in each one of those segments? And what are the use cases that are happening in each one of those segments that are kind of interesting or at least gaining traction?
So I would say that the vast majority of our clients are pet owners, people who they usually have a pet that is older or sick, or they worry about it for whatever reason, they go online, they look for technology solutions to help them deal with their issue, and then they find us. Veterinarians tend to be conservative professionals, so adoption is a little slower, but we still have quite a few, sometimes because they heard about it in a conference or they read the publication. So the research version is already producing a lot of publications, scientific publications, because for the first time you can really do research with a lot of animals in their natural habitat. So you get data that is very valuable. So all of these different channels are actually growing fast for us.
So I kind of want to talk about the what's your take and feel on the just macro environment of the AI and how you're incorporating it. So I recently started playing with like the big hype right now of OpenClaw and like these orchestrators of AI agents, and my mind was blown. That's why I haven't slept in the last 4 or 5 days, because I basically automated almost every aspect of my life through AI agents, and I know nothing about programming. So it's my continuous fear in any aspect of life right now is that our technologies are outpacing what we can learn about what is new about it. And also in a startup world, it feels like the products that we're building are outpaced by the technologies that they're based on. So I almost feel like very soon any startup that starts will become irrelevant within 6 months, because the background AI is doing what the product is meant to do, but they're just doing it out of the box. Do you feel that in your space? Do you get a little bit sort of threatened and worried about it? How do you feel about that?
Actually, on my relatively small angle of doing things, collecting data to improve pets' health, I don't see that happening. I think AI is a great tool that helps us interpret the data and make it accessible to, just like you said, the average pet owner that needs to make sense out of it. You would still need the hardware. It doesn't matter how AI is progressing, you would still need something to collect the data and bring it to you so you can interpret it. So I see AI as a tool, an amazing tool that helps us develop amazing features. For example, the latest one we developed, and it's still in beta mode, but we're going to release it soon, is the epilepsy program. So it is used for dogs with epilepsy, and it can detect seizures. If you have a dog at home with epilepsy, you know how stressful this is. You can still go do your everyday stuff, work or shopping or whatever, and if there's an alert, if your dog had a seizure, you would know about it. So this is really revolutionary, and it is thanks to AI. So I understand, what you're saying. I don't see it applied to that specific application that we're dealing with here.
That's a great answer. I think, yeah, to stay relevant, we need the hardware piece to innovation, I think. But I love the use case about the seizures. Seizure monitoring is one of those difficult things because you're not at home and your man's working. And other than the level of, your phenobarbital or whatever you're measuring, then you're really out of luck to understand what's going on. So what are other prominent clinical applications that you're working on that get you excited as a veterinarian background, and then that the owners can have a peace of mind on a day-to-day basis?
So we have several that we already released. The first one was the pain detection. Dogs, as they age, just like we do, eventually our joints become, they age and they become eroded, and they cause chronic pain. So we can detect that. We can detect chronic pain as it develops in the early phases. We have a program for breeders that tracks pregnancy, so we can identify problems during pregnancy, and we can, with a 100% accuracy, we can predict the time of labor, the time the dog is going to go into labor, so you can prepare for it.
That's cool.
You mentioned the Whoop. There's like all these gadgets for people. We also have a fitness and exercise program. So if you're running with your dog, it helps you. Just like for us, you need to manage your workouts based on the level of intensity and your body's preparedness to go into a session. So we have that also for dogs, and we're working on a lot of exciting things: diabetes, cancer, heart disease, a lot of exciting things that are developing. We're working with universities all over the world, and we will release them in due time when it's ready.
It's amazing. Yeah, so I want to just circle back. I've talked to a lot of other innovators in the pet wearable space just preparing for this talk. And one of the things that everybody says, you included, is this channel, the veterinary channel, is not the fast growing one. It's the consumer channel. And
Right.
this idea that the pet needs an interface, which is a human, an owner, in order to bring this relevant data to somebody that can do something with it, a veterinarian. Is that what you guys are experiencing? Are you guys experiencing your callers getting introduced to veterinary professionals through their owners primarily? And what does that look like as a tool? Is the pet owner going to the veterinarian with a PDF that they generate from your application to then help the veterinarian do diagnosis? Or what are you seeing? Like, and where do you think the growth is? Is it in this area? Or are veterinarians going to wake up one day and say, I want all the pets that we care for to have a connected collar?
Good question. So it actually goes both ways. We do have veterinarians who recommend it to their clients, but the majority are pet owners. They're dealing with an issue. They use technology. They can share the data with their vet, so they can invite the vet into the app, share all the data with them. So instead of taking the dog to the hospital or the cat, which is stressful, or trying to catch the vet on the phone, which is difficult because they're always busy, you can connect the platform digitally, and the veterinarian can see what's going on right now with the pet. They can also look at historical data and trends and all kinds of analytics. So they can already provide some consultation remotely. In addition, we also have a telemedicine feature inside the app. So with the push of a button, you can, from within the app, you can consult with a veterinarian about issues that concern you about with your pet. They can see the data, they have full access to everything, so they can provide information right on the spot. So yeah, it goes both ways, but I think the majority is coming from the pet owners. I think they're more adapting to change or are ready to absorb change and technology more than the veterinarians.
I wonder if it's even more than that. I wonder if it's that the pet owner actually is the owner of the pain, right? Like they own the dog, it's their pride possession, they really care about it. And when they see something that's off, they want to do something about it. They even want to watch it very closely. The veterinarian that has a 15-minute visit once a year, that's a lot to ask. So let's talk about the telemedicine platform. What's happening there? That's pretty interesting.
So you can use it in two ways. You can invite your regular vet to join you on the app and get full access to the data. Vets can actually be smart about it. They can be proactive. They can invite reports and call you if they see something they don't like. They don't have to wait for you to come home and find something, or feel that something is not right. So that's one way. The other way, if it's after hours or if your vet is not available, you can actually get a chat or a video with a licensed veterinarian that can provide immediate help and advice right from within the app. So it's more than just, there's a lot of telemedicine company out there. It's more than just a video chat, because it is combined with real data, biometrics that are coming from the pet in real time, plus all the history and the trends and the analytics. It makes this remote consultation much more meaningful and robust.
Let's dream a little bit. Do you think that in a number of years from now, we're going to get to sophistication of the colors that you would be almost understanding your dog like it's talking to you? Because now we get signals, this is elevated, this is in this condition, this. Would it ever, with AI and everything else, get us to the point where we can have an intelligent conversation with our cat or dog?
Theoretically, you can never say impossible about anything. I don't see it with the current technology because, to be honest, we are collecting physiological and behavioral biometrics, but it's not enough to have a conversation with your pet. I mean, if I measure your blood pressure and your respiratory rate, I would know something meaningful about your physiology and your health status, but it's still not a conversation where I can, discuss feelings and experiences, etc. I think it's going to take a little more time than just the near future to see something like
That makes tons of sense. But Ivan, you can always dream, buddy. Keep dreaming.
that. If you told us 100 years ago that we'd be having this type of meeting from across the world and see and talk to each other in real time, it's like, what are you talking about? So
The future is bold and interesting.
yeah.
So the next question that I have for you is back to this telemedicine piece. This sounds really interesting. You guys got thousands of connected callers out there. You've got some vets monitoring this data. this is a big change potentially, especially if you guys turn on the proactive connect feature, where the pets that have the collar know that their data is being monitored by a veterinarian. And if something's not correct, they get some kind of an alert and they're offered or prompted for a telemedicine visit. I'm dreaming as well. Does this exist? Is this something that you guys are doing?
Oh yeah, it's not a dream. This is actually already a reality. I think this is the true revolution in the concept of healthcare. Not the old, but we've been doing medicine for pets the same way for about the last 150 years. When the pet owner notices that something's not right, they take the dog or the cat to the vet. They do like you said, a 10 minutes examination, and they figure out what's going on. The other option is that you bring it once a year for its shots. And again, you have a 10-minute time to get information from the pet owner and to look at the pet and figure out what's going on. This, I think, is a way that's going to be going out through the window because technology enables us to get so much more information, which is much more meaningful because we're seeing the pet in its real environment through the day, throughout its, whatever it's doing in its life. It's going to be more reliable and more authentic data. And just the amount of it, together with AI models that can interpret it and bring sense out of it, this is really changing the way we provide healthcare to our pets.
This is very, very cool update on your product. Dr. Asaf, could you please let us know where to find your product, yourself, and learn more about the journey for both product and yourself?
Sure. You can go to our website, petpace.com. You can also order the product over Amazon.
So we are running out of time, as we usually do every week, and we usually ask 2 questions at the end of the show. The first one is their book, YouTube video, TED Talk, anything that inspired you recently and you would like to share with listeners.
I just finished a book last week written by Robert Kreis. It's called The Great Equations. They're going through the 10 most important mathematical equations in the history of mankind. And it's not just about mathematics, it's how these equations actually change the world, change the culture, change humankind. So it's very interesting kind of look at something that's supposed to be very technical and scientific, but it in fact has widespread ramifications.
And the last one for you is another innovator that you think we should have on this show.
Yeah, I would recommend my friend, Dr. Chen Gilor. He's an internal medicine specialist in the University of Florida. He specializes in diabetes, and he's doing groundbreaking research in monitoring dogs with diabetes. This is a very difficult thing to do. People, they measure glucose all the time. You have this sensor that you can wear on the body that continuously tell you their glucose levels. He's actually applying that to dogs, and that's revolutionizing the way we can manage diabetes in dogs. And PetPace is part of this process. So I can't say too much for now, but it's going to be very, I think, also revolutionary approach to manage this devastating and chronic condition.
Thank you so much for listening to the Veterinary Innovation Podcast. If you want to hear about our new episodes, please follow us on any social media channel. Also, you can check out our website at veterinaryinnovationpodcast.com. See you next week.